And we are indeed live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Sports in association with Round for Round Boxing. www.roundforroundboxing.com. Round for Round Boxing, the new boxing console game that will be coming out on PC, PS4 and Xbox One. BWTM Sports, the official channel for all things Round for Round Boxing. Check it out. Okay, we have with us a very special guest on BWTM Sports. Once again, the returning trainer of the unbeaten heavyweight Martin Bakole, Billy Nelson. Billy, how are we doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
So how have things been, Billy, since the last time we spoke?
Things have been quite busy. Travelling around the country, getting quality sparring.
You're breaking up, Billy. Sorry, you're breaking up.
I'm saying we've been travelling the country, getting some quality sparring for Martin's fight on Saturday.
Of course, we all know that Martin Bakole was recently sparring with Anthony Joshua. He was sparring with Joshua before, so it's not the first time. How did you find this sparring session with Joshua as he was preparing for Povetkin?
I personally think both fighters have improved a great deal.
Okay.
And the sparring was first class.
Fantastic. Obviously, you saw Joshua's performance against Povetkin. What did you think of it?
Well, I thought it went the way I said it would go. Povetkin would come out, start quick, win a few rounds. Anthony's speed and strength and youthfulness would take over. Round 4 or 5, and he stopped him in, was it 6 or 7?
Yep.
So there was no surprise what he done to him.
Okay. Now, this fight against Michael Hunter, a lot of people will see Michael Hunter, not know much about him. He's very much under the radar. But for those people who have seen him fight against Usyk in the cruiserweight division, but he's quite tasty in the heavyweight division as well, Michael Hunter, isn't he?
He's a very good fighter. He went the distance with Alexander Usyk. It wasn't the best Usyk performance. It's not like the one he had against Gassiev. It was, he was exceptional that night. He still won the fight very clearly, in my opinion. Hunter won the first couple of rounds, maybe 2-3 rounds, and then the fight totally swung into Usyk's favour. But this is no cruiserweight boxing we're talking about now. It's heavyweight boxing, and he's coming up against a big, powerful unit in Martin Bakole. Not just powerful, very, very, very skillful, just like Alexander Usyk. Very skillful. A very hard puncher and very elusive as well. I've heard Hunter say the fight will not go by 6 rounds. He's probably right. It won't go by 6 rounds, but not in his favour.
So, what are the dangers that Hunter brings to the table for this fight for boxing fans?
He's got a good skill set.
He has.
He has got a good skill set. He's not a particularly powerful guy, I don't think. I've seen Martin Bakole get hit with flush shots against Anthony Joshua. Took them as if, ridiculous. It was ridiculous. I cringed. I cringed when he got hit with a shot, and he's also been hit flush with Daniel Devoe and took his shot as well. So if he can take those shots up with those two guys who are heavy-handed punchers, I'm sure he'll be able to take anything Michael Hunter lands. But the question will be asked, can Hunter take what he's going to be given?
That's the thing. The other thing is, we know that Hunter had an Olympic background as well, if I'm correct.
Well, he did get put out in the first round.
Yeah.
Albeit against a very good fighter. Was it Berbatov or something like that?
Yeah. Bertabiev. The guy who fought Callum Smith on the weekend.
Sorry?
The guy who fought Callum Smith on the weekend.
That's correct. So it was a very good
Callum
fight.
Johnson, not Smith. Callum Johnson, sorry. Yes.
Callum Johnson in America. So it was a very good fight and he got beat with, but, he got beat. So.
Yeah. Okay. So why did you select? Why was he? Go ahead.
He's also been knocked out with Tyson Fury, I'm led to believe, in the amateurs.
Okay. Why did Cyclone Promotions decide to pick Hunter as the next fight? Why Hunter? Why not a British opponent? Or was it the case you couldn't get British opponents?
Well, you've just answered your own question. We couldn't get a British opponent. Nobody wants to fight him.
Yeah. Okay. So Hunter, where do you think a win over Hunter takes you?
Well, hopefully it gets him in the top 15 or around about the top 15 in the world and a few of the organisations. And we can move forward there on after.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. So the fight's on Saturday night at York Hall, Bethnal Green, I believe. Okay. What are you expecting to see from Martin in this fight as trainer?
Well, I know, you know, Martin has been looking exceptional in sparring. I mean, he's done, as we've said, he's done 4 weeks with Anthony. He's done 2 weeks with Hughie Fury, who's ideal sparring for Michael Hunter. In fact, you know, he's probably better than Hunter. He is better than Hunter, and so that was absolutely ideal sparring. We also had a couple of spars with Daniel Dubois. Okay,
well, I'm glad you led me on to this. Hughie Fury, you would have seen him up close. I've had the pleasure of seeing Hughie work up close. What are your thoughts about Hughie Fury? A lot of fans have got a lot of things to say who have never seen Hughie up close. What are your thoughts about Hughie Fury, a proven trainer?
A very good fighter. He's fast hands, fast feet. People forget he's only 24-year-old. I would suggest that at this stage of their careers, Hughie Fury, you know, the up-and-coming guys in Britain now are Nathan Gorham and Daniel Dubois, both of whom, you know, I've got quite a wee bit to go to get to Hughie Fury's level just now. That's what I would think.
Okay. The suggestion that Hughie Fury cannot punch, which I've always thought was laughable. What are your thoughts on that?
I think he's an adequate puncher, I don't think he's not a one-punch knockout artist.
No, but you don't need to be. You just need to be able to land it when you need to land it, eh?
Well, it's easier said than done, but yeah.
Yeah. While we're on the subject, Hughie's got a bit of an interesting journey over to Bulgaria, a fight that I think he's going to win and win quite well. What are your thoughts about Hughie Fury versus Kubrat Pulev?
It's a good fight. It's fair credit to Hughie Fury for taking it, where others have refused to take the fight.
Mm-hmm.
He's gone over to Bulgaria to fight a good fight. I think he's only lost it once. I personally think styles make fights, and it could be ideal for Hughie this fight.
I think so.
I think what he's got to do. The guy's 39-year-old. I think he's 36, 39-year-old. I believe that Hughie Fury's got to stay with him and compete hard for the first 4 or 5 rounds, and then slowly but surely take the centre of the ring. And if he can do that, I think he'll end up winning the fight comfortably. If he doesn't do that, then the masks can come out and he'll lose on points.
Oh dear. I don't think we'll ever see a performance that we saw from Hughie Fury against Joseph Parker again. I don't think we'll see that. I think he's learnt from that.
Well, you've got to learn from it, haven't you?
Well,
he won that fight.
Yeah, I thought he won it as well. But I think
I think he won it.
I do too. But I think that you know, he could have been. I think he could have been even more authoritative in his win. There were opportunities and points in that fight where I felt he could have put more pressure on Parker.
Definitely, aye. Because Parker's he's proven that he's not a top fighter now. I mean, Joshua dismantled him, gave him a boxing lesson. I mean, Dylan White, Dylan White was hurting him, although another half a minute, and I think Parker would have stopped Dylan White.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Dylan White and Parker are, you know, on a same kind of, they're the same kind of level.
Okay.
I think.
While we talk, you're kind of leading me into the next question I was going to ask you. Dillian Whyte. Now, my personal opinion, and it might not care for much, but I've been arguing with boxing fans and saying to them, look, Dillian Whyte should go for the WBA title that's out there at the moment because Shah has now been tested positive for something. So there's a vacant belt there that he could fight with Fezquendo and then defend his belt against Ortiz or Chisora. What are your thoughts? Do you think he should fight Ortiz or Chisora next? Or do you think he should try and get that world title shot?
Well, why would they do that if it's likely that he's going to fight Anthony Joshua for all the belts? So would you not be better fighting somebody for all the belts rather than a regular belt?
Well, I would have thought you could have taken the regular belt and used that as a negotiating ploy to fight when you fight Joshua. You bring something more to the table.
What more do you want? You're going to get fighting for the, was it 3 or 4 titles that Joshua's got?
Yep.
You're going to get good money. You win that fight, you set yourself up for life.
Agreed. However,
so why go down the regular route where a lot of people look down on the regular title? Let's be honest.
I know a lot of people look down on it, but it was the same title that Povetkin fought and won, the same belt that David Haye had and won and was celebrated for it. And David Haye left fighting Vitaly Klitschko to go and fight Valyov to win the title.
So I'll ask this question. He's mandatory for the whatever title he's mandatory for the now.
He actually isn't, because now they're saying Dominic Brazil. Not? Dominic Brazil is meant to be mandatory.
Is it?
That's what I'm understanding.
No, I always thought it was mandatory.
That's what I thought.
I thought that was a final eliminator against Parker.
Now they're saying that if he fights Luz Ortiz, that will be for a final eliminator.
Oh, it's not a fight he wants, is it?
No, I said that's a fight he should avoid completely. That fight he should avoid. And they're talking about now him and Chisora fighting next week or agree next week for the fight. Why would he fight Derek Chisora again when he's got Joshua around the corner?
Because it could, well, with the fullest respect to Derek Chisora, it could be possibly seen as an easier fight than Ortiz, but if it was anything like the first fight, it's nothing easy about it, is it?
Absolutely, and a lot of people suggested that Dillian Whyte actually got beaten in that fight against Chisora. Well, so
I personally thought that Chisora won the fight.
There you go.
Close, very close.
But I thought Chisora won as well. But again, why would you want to take that fight when you could fight? Like I'm saying, you could fight Fresequendo, and in an easy fight, beat Fresequendo, pick up a WBA title, and maybe pick up and have a couple of defenses before you fight Joshua.
I think it's easier said than done. You're saying that he could fight Fresequendo as if it's an easy thing to do. There's a few Americans getting lined up for that fight as well. I hear.
Is it? Like who?
Well, I've heard there's a few Americans and maybe even a British guy getting lined up for that.
Ah, interesting. Maybe someone like a Joe Joyce potentially.
Possibly. I mean,
I wouldn't be surprised.
No, but he's fighting Gerard Washington, so it can't be him. He might have been in line for it.
Yeah, I would have thought he would have been in line for that.
Listen, he'll not even fight Martin Bakole. Why should he get fighting? What is it, Engdo or whatever his name is, Quasimodo?
Quasimodo.
You know what I mean?
Would Bakole go down the WBA to try and win that, try and fight for that title?
If somebody offers that fight, he'd fight them, no problem.
Absolutely.
Martin will fight any heavyweight in the planet. I've told you that the last time we.
I know. I know.
As long as the terms and conditions are fair, we'll fight them and he'll beat them.
Yeah, that is something that's very interesting. You said that there. As long as the terms and conditions are correct. I'm glad you said that, because in this day and age, as soon as you decline to fight somebody, they think you're ducking, rather than understand their terms and conditions.
No, what too many boxers do, or managers or promoters, whatever it is, they'll say that they want too much money.
Yep.
And that's a way of saying, no, we don't really want to fight, or they'll offer you peanuts. And he's not going to fight somebody for peanuts. You know what I mean? But if it all depends who the opponent was, where the fight was, what the title was for, and if it was a fair deal, Martin would fight anybody.
I know I've heard some fighters say, well, I'll fight you for anything. I'll fight him for anything. You've heard people say that before, haven't you?
No,
Fighters say that?
Well, let's be honest. Martin's in a position where he needs to climb a ranking, so it has to be something worthwhile that he can improve his ranking. Because ultimately, in 12 months' time, I want him fighting for a world title.
Absolutely. So, if you're saying that, potentially, if Anthony Joshua is still world heavyweight champion, would you actually entertain the fact of fighting your former sparring partner?
in a heartbeat. And why not have it in Africa, Nigeria? Anthony's always wanted to fight there, or go to the Congo and fight where the Rumble in the Jungle was in Kinshasa, Zaire.
I said this about Wilder versus Joshua. I said this fight should be in Africa. Why not? And people said it can't happen. Why can't it happen? George Groves and what's his name? Callum Smith just fought in Dubai.
But if Martin progresses the way we hope he progresses in the next 12 months, and he's up there as a mandatory position for talking sake, one of Anthony's belts, it makes more sense for Anthony Joshua if he dreams to fight in Africa, to fight an African in Africa and fight Wilder, because there's got to be more money in America or Britain than what there would be in Africa for Wilder v
Joshua.
But if it was a fight between the top African heavyweight and Martin Bakole, if it became mandatory against Anthony Joshua, if that fight was ever to be made in Africa, that would be huge, absolutely phenomenal over there.
It would be. It would be.
Without a shadow of doubt. I mean, have it in Nigeria. I believe Anthony's
Nigeria
father came from Nigeria, so you know, I'm sure he wants to fight there.
That would be amazing.
Why not against Martin Bakole?
Oh, that would be a great fight. At the
end of the day, Ingram, it's a business.
Of course it is. I mean? Of course it is. I appreciate, and I totally agree. It's an absolute business.
We don't see ourselves as Anthony Joshua's sparring partner. We're there to prepare for our fight. And Anthony Joshua just happens to be the best that there is now.
I like the way you put that as well. Very nice, very nice. I stand corrected. You were there preparing for your own fight.
Well, we are. We're not there to get Anthony Joshua ready for his fight. Anthony Joshua appreciates Martin Bakole's. The respect the two of them have for each other is phenomenal. The sparring that they have is phenomenal. You know, I mean, it's no some big lump of lad that's coming to America to spar Anthony Joshua and get beat up, because Anthony Joshua gets nothing out of that either.
Yeah. I'm glad you said that, because that gives a different perspective of people listening in. They say, oh yeah, Joshua's using Bakole for sparring. That's the idea that most people would think, that don't understand that, the dynamics behind that. But as we've spoken before, and I've got a huge respect for Martin Bakole and what he's doing and his skill set. So they're like two.
Let me tell you something, Ingram, right? This is the hand on my heart. See some of the spars that he had with Anthony Joshua?
Yep.
They were better than the Bavokin fight. Much better. Phenomenal. They were.
Wow. I could believe it too.
Without a shadow of doubt.
Let me throw something else up there at you. Let's say Hughie Fury beats Pulev. Then Hughie wants his mandatory shot at Joshua. Do you think Joshua fights Hughie Fury, or do you think he vacates the IBF belt?
I can't even answer that. I mean, I've nothing to do with Hughie and I've nothing to do with Anthony Joshua, so it's really up to their managers and promoters. But okay. Would it be... It'd be every bit as big a fight in Britain as Dylan White against Anthony Joshua, would it not? Well,
yeah, absolutely.
But if it became vacant, then if he won the IBF title against some American, for talking say Brazil or something like that,
yeah,
you know, then obviously Martin Bakole would happily fight Hughie Fury as well.
There you go. You see, so that fight could open up as well. So interesting. Now, the big fight happening, Wilder versus Fury. First of all, what have you thought of Fury's comeback fights?
I don't think he's looked fantastic in them, but you know, it's been a long time out, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But his mindset, he's obviously taking this fight very, very seriously, because I'm led to believe he's in Big Bear already, so he's solely focused on the job in hand.
What are your thoughts on Deontay Wilder and this fight with Fury?
Well, let's be perfectly honest, right? Wilder is not the most skilled or the best in the eye. He's powerful. That's what he is. But Tyson Fury's got a skill set that can negate that power. But it all depends what Tyson Fury turns up. If it's the best Tyson Fury, he beats him on points. If it's not the best Tyson Fury, then he could get caught.
Is it really on a knife edge for you on this, or do you think we're going to get something special from Fury?
Well, really, it doesn't really bother me who wins it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously, I'd like to see Tyson Fury win, but he's been out the ring for a long time. I think in my eyes, Wilder's got to be the slight favourite just because he's been more active, obviously more active in the last few years.
Okay. The rise of Joe Joyce is a big push for a lot of British fans that seem to rate Joe Joyce very highly. Do you see why they rate him so highly?
Joe Joyce is a fine fighter. He's very strong. He's very slow. You know, but he's very, very strong and he's super fit.
Okay.
He's really fit guy.
Right.
He's how old is he? 33.
Yep.
I'm like 33. They need to push him, don't they?
They do.
There's a bit of money behind him, so he's getting good exposure over him. Well, he's had that fight there. I mean, you need to remember the guy that he stopped in 5 rounds. Michael Hunter stopped in 5 rounds.
Oh wow.
You know what I mean? So just for talking's sake, Bakole wins on Saturday in the 3rd round. It makes Joe Joyce's fight look irrelevant, doesn't it?
It does. It does. What do you think of him changing trainers, going to Abel Sanchez now?
Well, he had to change trainers. His trainer left him, didn't he? The guy retired.
Yeah.
The jackpot wasn't happening with David Hayes, so he went away to Dubai to live. And Abel Sanchez is a great trainer, isn't he?
Yes.
So you would like to think can he improve at 33? A small percentage, possibly 10%, maybe he could.
Yep.
Enough? Questionable.
Questionable. Is he good enough to become world heavyweight champion? That's the big question.
I'd say no. Purely because I think that the higher echelon guys will be too quick for him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's there to be hit. He really is there to be hit. His chin sticks up in the air a mile. And these big guys, like himself, are very powerful. But I believe he'll get caught sooner rather than later.
Okay.
Not with Gerald Washington.
Not with Gerald Washington.
No.
No. Gerald Washington can't box that much, can he? You don't think?
No, he's a good fighter, but he's been knocked out 2 in his last 3 fights. Do remember, Josh? Joe Joyce's last opponent was knocked out twice in his last 2 fights before Joe Joyce's fight. So he's been knocked out 3 times in a row, and he kind of quit in that fight as well, didn't he?
What, the one against Wilder?
No, that last boy, King Glatze, or whatever his name is.
Yeah. Oh, he quit in his last fight.
I thought he basically quit. So you'll be lucky if that man, King Glatze, might not fight again, because that's 3 times in a row he's been stopped.
Right.
That's a hard pill. He was a good fighter. So that must be a hard pill to swallow, being stopped 3 times in a row. You've got to doubt yourself, your future ambitions, I'd imagine.
Right.
And maybe if somebody put their arm around him, gave him some proper advice, maybe advise him to retire. Right.
Daniel Dubois, his fight against Glenn Johnson. Not Glenn Johnson. What's his name?
Kevin Johnson.
Glenn Johnson. Oh, dear me. Yeah, Kevin Johnson. What do you think?
The good thing that Daniel got out the fight is you went 10 rounds. But as you know yourself, when you step it up, somebody's like Kevin Johnson never threw a lot back. Let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But he went 10 rounds under the lights. People forget he's only 21.
Yeah, he's young.
He's a puppy.
He is. Jarrell Miller, I call him Big Bully Miller. He ducked out the fight with Pulev and decided to fight Tomasz Adamek. What does that prove? A guy coming in 317 pounds against a former cruiserweight.
What does it prove coming out at 317 pounds?
Yeah.
He's a fat cunt. Listen, let's be honest. Adamek was a light. His best in his career was when he was a light heavyweight.
Yeah, exactly.
And as somebody pointed out if Miller was another 20 pound heavier, he'd have been double what Adamek's weight was at light heavyweight, which is quite, it's quite. I know we complain, say like at middleweight, 11 stone 6. If somebody come in 4 pound heavy, guys complain about that, and quite rightly so. It's 4 pounds a lot of weight at a set weight.
Yeah.
But when you're coming in, how many pounds heavier was it? Was it 90 pound heavier? 90 pound. Listen, let's see what Miller's got when he's got somebody in front of him that can take a shot. You believe me when I tell you. See when somebody's firing back to him. His legs will turn to jelly for round 6 onwards.
That's, I would love to see Martin Bakole fight Miller. I'd faster watch Bakole fight Miller than watch Dillian Whyte fight Miller.
Martin would box circles around him and then stop him. Honestly. He's so, jeez, what about him versus Joe Joyce? What a fight that would be.
The battle of the men in treacle. Molasses. Sponsored by Molasses. Or slow motion.
I'd be a fight and a half, that, wouldn't it? But fair play to Joe Joyce, but he's went over to America to improve his career now. But he can only he's going to be sparring big Hughie Fury. Tyson Fury. Sam Jones asked us to go over there, but I don't know if we could actually go over there on the visa that Martin's got. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but wait, what? I don't understand what Joe Joyce brings to sparring with Tyson Fury. Joe Joyce doesn't hit nowhere near as hard as Wilder. He doesn't move as fast as Wilder.
To be fair, Joe Joyce can punch hard, but he's not quick enough. Wilder's much quicker.
That's what I'm saying.
Honestly, believe me when I tell you, see the best sparring partner the best guy to get Tyson Fury prepared for that fight is Martin Bakole.
What about Lawrence Bakole? Wait, hold on. What about Lawrence Bakole?
Sorry?
What about Lawrence Bakole? Tall, long range.
He's only 15 stone. He's walking about 15 stone. You're not would he be really big enough yet?
But Wilder's 15 stone, isn't he?
Well, he is, aye.
Lawrence Bakole would be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Same sort.
Martin's 18 stone too, and he's very, very fast, as you know. So if Tyson Fury can handle Martin's speed with his power, surely that's great prep for Wilder. Yeah.
You think so? But you think that how does that prepare? Because they're different dimensions.
And he's just heavier. Martin Bakole would be every bit as quick as Wilder, if not quicker. He's bigger. He's stronger. He probably doesn't punch as hard as him, but he'll not be far away from it. But his skill sets, it would blow Wilder's out the water.
Yeah, that I appreciate. But what about the speed? The speed of a guy who's 15 stone. That can't be matched by a guy that's 18 stone. Surely not.
Watching Saturday night how it's done.
I'm looking forward to it. Billy Joe Saunders and that situation he's got now where he's going to be he's going to get stripped of his title. coming into that whole Andrade Saunders fight, I knew something would go wrong. I just didn't know what it was going to be, but something would go wrong, and it has done.
Well, I actually feel very sorry for Billy Joe Saunders, because it was was it one of these Vicks inhaler things?
So I understand. Yeah.
I mean, how innocuous is that? I mean, we've all had one of them up our nose to clear our sinuses, haven't we?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That man wouldn't take anything to his own friends and people have said that, you know, he wouldn't know a steroid for a bloody protein bar. You know what I mean? So and Eddie Hearns even said today that he wouldn't take anything intentionally. So surely people should have took that on board. And I feel rotten for him. I actually feel gutted for him, because he's an excellent fighter. He is. Hard, and he's a kind of guy that'd be a life and soul of a party.
He would. But
I feel right sorry for him, so I do. I think I read on Twitter earlier on that he's gave up his belt.
Okay.
I think I read that. I think he's relinquished it. That's shite having to do that. So it is.
It is. Do you think his extracurriculum outside the ring is affecting his way inside the ring, and boxing politics are getting involved?
And what's getting involved, sorry? Boxing
politics, where, you know, Billy Joe Saunders' antics outside the ring are now catching up with him inside the ring in terms of...
I think it could have been something as innocuous as he's got a bit of a cold, and he used that to clear his sinuses. It could be something of nothing. Look what it's cost him. I mean, it really is a bit extreme, I think. I think they should have looked at it with more sympathy towards him.
Can his promoter not do anything about it? The British Boxing Board of Control, have they got no power in this situation?
I don't know that side. I don't know that side yet. But the British Boxing Board of Control said they never failed us. They were supporting them, didn't they?
Yeah, exactly.
They never failed a test or something. It was an out of training test.
Interesting. Just to close, there's talk of Amir Khan versus Kell Brook for in 2019 March. That's what they're talking about now. I'm a bit baffled, and I'll see if you can explain, if you can work this out for me. Amir Khan's talking about Go ahead. Amir Khan's talking about a rehydration clause of £10 for Kell Brook. He can't go up further than 154.
Doesn't that trying to adhere to the IBF rules, doesn't he?
Yeah, but doesn't that benefit Kell Brook more than it benefits Amir Khan?
No, because Kell Brook would put on a lot more weight than £10, a lot more weight, and it has to get a check weigh in on the day of the fight to ensure that he's no win and ballooned up to whatever he goes to. Kell Brook's a big man. He's a big guy, and he boils right down to 10 stone 7. You've got to be thinking Kell Brook goes up to nearly 12 stone on the night.
Okay, so you think that's going to help Khan that much?
Oh, undoubtedly, because it's not the weight that he's going to put on. It's getting down to 147 as well. How are you going to get down to 147? He boil himself down to nothing, and then hopefully he rehydrates and put all the carbs back into his body, and and refuel.
Surely it's going to take just one shot from him that will do it.
Sorry?
Surely it would just be one shot from him that would do it.
From Kell Brook?
Yeah. Yeah, to Khan.
What makes you think that?
Because Khan seems quite vulnerable.
Because he got knocked at the Canelo?
No, because in the last fight he got dropped by Vargas.
Come on, Canelo's class.
What about the Vargas fight, the last fight he had?
He never looked good. He never looked good.
That's what I'm saying.
But Kell Brook's been stopped 2 or 3 times these last 3 fights as well.
No, he got stopped by Spence.
Golovkin to get stopped with.
Yeah, but okay, but those two guys are so are you saying that you think Amir Khan would beat?
I've always said Amir Khan will beat Kubrat.
Wow.
It's just my opinion.
What makes you think that? That's a fascinating thought. What makes you think that?
I think he's just too. I think he'll be too quick and too clever for him. Kubrat is a fine fighter. People think I dislike him. Kubrat's a brilliant fighter.
Right.
I think he's been, the last few fights, he's been very, very harshly matched. I mean, that boy, the Errol
Spence.
Brilliant fighter. The fight I want to see next year, Spence versus Crawford. What a fight.
Well, that's a great fight. A great fight.
But will it happen? I don't know.
It won't happen.
No. Well, I'm saying, will it happen?
Good question. What do you think of Crawford's fight against Benavidez?
Crawford will stop him.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
Easy?
No, nothing's... No, stay easy. Nothing's easy in boxing. Nothing's easy.
But Crawford makes it easy, though. Crawford makes it easy.
Because Crawford's brilliant.
That's what I'm saying.
Crawford's the best fight I've personally seen live. And I was Ricky Burns' trainer when he fought Crawford. And
I know you were telling me.
The way he switches from southpaw to orthodox effortlessly, maintains the distance, is absolutely a joy to watch.
Absolutely, absolutely. Have I missed anything else, Billy? Before we end the interview?
No. Well, you're asking me the questions. I'm not missing because I'm not asking any questions.
Okay, Billy. Okay, thank you so very much. I'll ask you this off here. I won't ask you on here. But thank you so much, Billy, for once again being on BWTM Sports. We appreciate you. All the best to Martin Bakole this weekend in his fight against Michael Hunter. And we look forward to hearing from you after the fight.
Thanks very much. All the best.
Take care, Billy. All the best. All right. So there you have it. Billy Nelson talking live on BWTM regarding the fight with Michael Hunter, which is going to be at Bethnal Green in Hackney, London. Get across there and support the fight. That's it for me from now. When I'm back, we'll be uploading or showing you the next fighter to be signed by Round for Round Boxing. And it's a big name. Talk to you soon. Take care.